All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Washington Commanders in today's video. They just are wrapping up rookie minicamp, and Jayden Daniels is apparently impressing everybody. Commanders teammates after first rookie practice, quote unquote, he's a stud. That's from third-round receiver Luke McCaffrey. He said to ESPN's John Keem, "I know he's one heck of a quarterback and a lot of fun to play with from a personality standpoint. I've had a blast in these 24 hours with him. He's just fun to be around. He's good energy." And then Ben Sinnott, second-round draft pick tight end, he said he has the it factor. So, folks, you got your franchise quarterback in Jayden Daniels here a couple of weeks ago, and he's going to change everything for the Washington Commanders. Keep in mind, the longest active season streaks without a win-loss record above 500. The Commanders are second in the NFL with 7 straight seasons. So that's about a change. We've been saying it on this channel for months and months and months. We've been predicting Jayden Daniels to the Commanders, and it finally happened. You guys also had a stellar draft. You had a stellar offseason. I was just reading an article from Bleacher Report, and they were going through the 5th worst rosters in the NFL, and the Commanders on that ranking were the third worst roster in the NFL. And I'm thinking to myself, I think Adam Peters really changed a lot in this year's offseason. And more importantly, they got their franchise guy in Jayden Daniels. So we're going to talk a little bit about rookie minicamp and the Commanders roster in general. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Commanders content, daily NFL content along with weekly Commanders videos. If you guys want more, let me know down below. But if you try and get this video to 500 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So Washington, they've been searching for their franchise QB for way too long here. No quarterback has started for more than 3 straight seasons since Mark Rypien did so from 1983 to 1993, geez. And one weird statistic is there's been one quarterback, like we just mentioned, of Commanders or Washington quarterbacks who have been the primary starter for more than 4 seasons since Joe Theismann last played in 1985. And that one quarterback, Mark Rypien, who we just mentioned, last played, 1993. So since 1993, Washington has started 32 different quarterbacks and only 2. Jason Campbell and Kirk Cousins, Captain Kirk Cousins, have started 13 or more games in 3 consecutive seasons. So in other words, the quarterback room has been a huge issue for the Washington franchise for way too long here. And it's not a coincidence that since the winning Super Bowl team, 1991, Washington has not posted an 11-win regular season and has won just 3 playoff games since then. So that's about to change completely with Jayden Daniels. We're hearing it from all these rookies until we get into OTAs when the veterans are implemented. It's just going to be a bunch of... There's going to be a lot of naysayers out there saying, well, he's throwing to dudes in no pads and they're just rookies and blah, blah, blah. Jayden Daniels won the Heisman this past season. He had a stellar year. He threw for over 3,800 total yards, 40 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. He ran for over 1,100 yards and more than 10 touchdowns. His dual threat ability gives Cliff Kingsbury endless options here. And before we get into some draft talk, the Commanders don't have that bad of a roster. They made so many moves with all the money in free agency that they had. Nick Allegretti, your new starting left guard. Tyler Biadasz, your new starting center. Scary Terry's still on the roster. Jahan Dotson's still on the roster. They draft Luke McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey's brother, in the 3rd round. And you picked up Austin Eckler on a freaking bargain deal from the Los Angeles Chargers. So he's got plenty of weapons here. And we're going to talk about the new tight end in just a second here. But before we do, it was just mentioned, it was just announced or reported that Johnny Newton, defensive tackle out of Illinois, their 2nd round pick number 36, is having another foot surgery on a different foot, which I guess is the good news. But they hope to have him ready by week 1. We'll wait and see. I'll keep you guys updated on that. But whenever he comes back, and keep in mind, they went with best player available with their first pick in the 2nd round here because their defensive tackle room is pretty solid with Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen. But guys, Newton was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year with 7.5 sacks, and he fits exactly what Dan Quinn likes on the inside. They wanted athleticism, they wanted versatility, they wanted to create chaos for opposing offenses. And that's exactly what you got with Johnny Newton. The only reason Newton even fell to the 2nd round was because of his injury concern. So we'll wait and see on that. I'm hoping he's ready to go by week 1. That news was like literally just announced. So I'll keep you guys updated. But moving on to another second round picking, Washington had so many draft picks in this year class. We'll have to wait till another video to go through them all. But one of my favorite prospects that Washington drafted outside of Jayden Daniels came in the second round at pick 53, Ben Sinnott from Kansas State, a tight end. He's 6'4", 250 pounds. He can help in the blocking realm from the fullback position. He also showed that he can catch last season at Kansas State, 49 total catches, 676 yards, and 6 touchdowns. They really needed a long-term tight end because, Zach Ertz was brought in, obviously because of his familiarity with Cliff Kingsbury's offense and his scheme. But Zach Ertz is old. He's aging. He's not a long-term. He's more of a short-term, one-year rental tight end. And so I'm glad they actually decided to pick up a tight end in the second round. This wasn't supposed to be a crazy tight end draft. You had Brock Bowers go 13. Yeah, JT Sanders go a little bit later than this one. So they take Ben Sinnott, tight end from Kansas State, and that's why you have Zach Ertz as well to complement him. Zach Ertz can still catch. It's more of a thing of, is Zach Ertz going to be healthy for an entire regular season? So I'm glad that they got a guy who had 49 catches for 676 yards and 6 touchdowns last year in college. But once again, man, the only important thing to me with the Washington Commanders in this upcoming season is just, it's not even building off of last year because they completely revamped it. Ownership, coaching staff, personnel. It's a completely new, revamped roster, organization in total. What I want to see from Washington is some signs of life on the offensive front, and it's all going to come down to Jayden Daniels. So that's why you picked up Tyler Biadasz for your new starting center. That's why you got Nick Allegretti. That's why you signed Austin Eckler, a dual threat running back. You need to make Jayden Daniels' life as easy as possible. And the dude's such a professional. We're hearing everything he's saying. He has not officially been named day one starter, but I just think that's a matter of time. Marcus Mariota would be slated as the backup quarterback if Jayden Daniels is QB1. We won't know that for quite some time now, but I fully assume Jayden Daniels will be ready to go as the starting quarterback in week 1 for the Washington Commanders, and he's just going to change your entire franchise. So to hear all these rookies come out here and say, Luke McCaffrey, like we said at the beginning of the video, he's literally a stud, one heck of a quarterback, a lot of fun to play with. Ben said that he's got the it factor. This is it. Dan Quinn loves him. This is exactly what you want to be hearing from your fellow rookies and from your coaches for your new franchise quarterback that you snagged at pick number 2. So that's really all I got for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. And hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. If you guys want more Commanders videos, let me know down below. But give me a win-loss projection as it stands on paper right now for the Commanders team in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you soon.